O'Hara, Farquhar, Smith, forwards, Broadhurst, Rushton, Tamati, West, Cole, Graham, and Fisher and Baxendale, the subs. So a good start for New Zealand. Mark Broadhurst, the forward, will take the initial pressure and put on what they can on both sides. And Fred Lindop playing a knock on. Graham West. Just a slow coming in onto the first scrum. Great Britain. Well, this is what Great Britain will rely on, I reckon, today. A lot of ball possession. Harry Pinner. Ground in a reasonably good condition. Crowd in a lively mood, and the sun is shining at Austral Stadium. Referee Fred Lindop, a man of many parts where a refereeing is concerned. Fairbairn to kick. Fairbairn figured in that last test, you remember, with the last kick, which didn't bring victory, as a matter of fact. It was 14-14. Incidentally, the Kiwis, Fairbairn there, the Great Britain team have had a special telegram wishing them well from the All Blacks team. That excellent match yesterday for the All Blacks. Will it be repeated here with the Kiwis? And a penalty for not letting him play the ball. Alec, first, you've managed to make your way down. First impressions, if any?
Well, I think both sides now are just testing each other out, but this is a kickable goal by George Fairbairn, and if you can kick this one, it should set him in good stead.
Again. 3 minutes gone, and a chance for Great Britain to go ahead with this penalty. Well, it's a bit of repetition of the first test, because he kicked one after 3 minutes, then he kicked one after 13 minutes, so he's taking some holding on, and the ground is not on the heavy side, but it's done well to recover the way it has done. Takes this time. Captain Fairbairn, no score, 2-0. Well, that was a good start. And talking of goals, which he's just kicked, Fairbairn, the man holding the record for goals is Jim Sullivan, who scored 33, and the second man was Lewis Jones, who got 23. 2-0. As the Kiwis will regard that 2 points as an inspiration as opposed to a setback. Very confident team, done well whilst they've been in Harrogate, created a very good spirit. Glenn Casey, Kevin Dick. Play on, says the referee, but it was a knock-on. Well, the referee allowed advantage there, and then he did wait to see if advantage had been taken. It hadn't. Referee not happy with the skirmish. And then, whenever are they happy about it? You have to have great patience. New Zealand ball, and penalty. Kevin Dick, and somebody's been talking, somebody chatting and giving their impudent remarks, with the result they've lost further ground. The referee doesn't argue, he just goes another 10 yards back, and that's it. And kicking the goal is Gordon Smith. It should be no problem. It's 2-0 now for Great Britain. And to the man who probably talked more than any other man on a football ground, Alex Murphy. this kick.
I think that was a very costly penalty. It was a very childish penalty, actually, because the ball was struck by New Zealand, and I would have a few bob that this lad will kick this. It's about his range. I don't think there'll be any missing from this range. He's even putting the ball the wrong way.
Well, he kicked 4 on the first test, and I think he's a bit safe on the bet. You never know. Might hit the upright. Now they will hit the crossbar. 2 points to 0, Great Britain. Straight kick. The flags are up. 2-2. The Bradford club signed quite a number of New Zealanders some few years ago, included Joe Phillips, Bob Hawes, Norman Hastings, Bill Dickinson, and Jack McLean, an ex-All Black, and Ronnie McGregor, one of the great players of New Zealand, is here today. Dave O'Hara. "25 yards line on the right, giving you an indication of the distance. Leilua got 3 tries, comes from Auckland. Not as many players from the Auckland area as in the past. There are quite a few from the West Coast, but Gary Prom, he's from Auckland, and so is Dave O'Hara, and probably the best footballer on the side, Aqua, Red of that ilk. Jack Maguire is a great follower of this team. Dave O'Hara. Mark Broadhurst. Gordon Smith, 9 goals, 1 try so far. The score 2-2. Eight minutes gone, and still I don't think many signs of what is likely to happen ere long. Red Aqua. Magic going to New Zealand. There is, of course, well, there is Fred, the man of many parts. Very big offers to him recently. The vice captain played on the wing. 22 games for New Zealand. But the forward and the scrum half, Gordon Smith. And Great Britain ball. Jeff Grayson. Des Drummond. New to this sort of scene. Very popular player. Comes from Lee, Lancashire. This fella comes from Leeds, Yorkshire. Lancashire. 2-2 the score. 10 minutes gone in the first half of this second test. Great Britain 2, New Zealand 2. Alec, not a lot of signs of superiority yet.
No, I think you find out now that both sides are frightened of making mistakes. I've noticed that the Great Britain tackling is a lot better than what it was in the first test. I think they've been told to give Mark Broadhurst some special attention, and Fred Aqua, because these are the two danger men, and we're getting a little bit overexcited at the moment.
Yes, well, this is the early stages, I suppose. Hooker, Alan Rushton from Canterbury. Quite a good footballer. Hasn't been getting a lot of the ball, but he knows the difficulties been a hooker on foreign soil, as it were. Johnny Cole and Kevin Tamati. The big fella you keep seeing in the picture is Graham West. Mark Broadhurst, hooker Alan Rushton. There's the big tall fella, Graham West. Making sorties towards the Great Britain line. Should we cross the 20? Drop possession. Well, that was a let off. Kevin Tamati. Knock on. Number 7, Gordon Smith getting up. Great Britain ball. Holstock. Grimshaw, Widnes and Neath. And there's certainly the crowds behind Great Britain. Still a sunny day. Pitch holding well at the moment. Had a tremendous lot of rain. So there might be problems. Groundman must have done a good job. Harry Pinner, Glenn Hallam. Good kick. Not in. Not in. George Fairbairn, but not in. Well, there's a certain amount, a lot of tension at the moment. The score 2-2. 12 minutes gone. Gary Prom came in more or less at the last minute or so. At the moment, it all seems to be a little bit down the middle stuff, making as far as they can. The referee has indicated 6 tackle coming up. Halfway line. And a penalty, what's he going to do with it? George Fairbairn, would you have a go, Alex? I don't mean you particularly, but if you were the captain.
Well, I think I'd put it in the corner, to be honest. I don't think George can reach from there, and I think that he is captain, so he'll decide himself.
Because that was a position, that last-minute kick at Wigan. More or less, wasn't it?
I think he's learned from that, and obviously he doesn't think he can reach.
No. And the ultimate ending of the kick indicated that, but it's Great Britain in possession. Should be doing set-piece moves instead to get the ball pinched from them. And Gary Prom on the right wing. Looks that he might have just got through. Score 2-2 in case you've just come in. I want reminding. George Fairbairn a goal after 3 minutes, and Gordon Smith a goal for the New Zealanders. 2 great New Zealand men not able to come here to this series. Pat Smith, who I believe has been very seriously ill, great captain when he was here with the Kiwis, and Jack Redwood, who was a great manager and was there when the match Dewsbury was played. The only match in Great Britain at that time due to the war situation. Can he make it? 15 minutes gone, the score 2-2. Mark Broadhurst, so a middle scrum half gone, not very little, but the break coming in after a bit of to-do on the field, and 2 touch changes are on. One just, the referee I think had one, but I think Broadhurst and Pinner connected. So the 2 touch changes, Mr. Barrow with the yellow flag and Mr. Kendra with the pink flag gave the report, and it's a penalty to New Zealand, the Kiwis. 16 minutes gone, getting close to the halfway of the first half. We're going to have a go. Michael O'Donnell, 3 goals. New Zealand's greatest goal kicker in these international games was Des White, who is here today. He's doing the broadcast back to New Zealand and been most helpful to the Great Britain team in varying ways, and is becoming quite a good commentator. Des White got 23 for New Zealand, and Jack Fagan got 21. That was against Great Britain. So a chance of going into the lead. Michael O'Donnell, debut 1977. Well, I hope there's crowd are not going to be tempted to put players off, but if they did, they succeeded because there's no goal. 2-2. On the New Zealand bench is Cess Mountford with the dark glasses on, one of the great all-time, Cess Mountford, and Harry O'Keefe, who I think is their rubber down. Mountford had a great career. Very keen to win this one today, then naturally, so is everybody else on the inside. John Whittaker, Wellington, big lad, 6 foot, 40 stone 7 for a centre. Nice one, can he get a pass in? Very good run indeed. Leulai, Maori, and good footballer. In the opening there, Mark Graham. This is possibly, he's the captain, but he's possibly the best forward around the football scene these days. Mike Graham, Mark Graham is correct. And there's a half break coming. Graham West, move the ball out. Half dummy, and what a good dummy too by fullback O'Donnell, and it's a try. 18 minutes gone, and there's a little bit of setting up to one another. But O'Donnell and the referee there on the job very quickly with the treble, Alex.
Well, this is a very good try, actually. If you have a look here, Mark Broadhurst does exceptionally well. A little bit of bed tackling on Great Britain's part. But have a look here. He slips the ball out. Now watch this. Scrum after as well. Moves the ball. Now watch the dummy. Never take a dummy in international football, and Camilleri, inexperienced, probably proving the point.
Well, that was a well worked for try. With 18 minutes gone, it's given them a lot of heart, I'm sure. O'Donnell. O'Donnell to kick. It's a difficult one. They're all difficult ones in test matches, but this right on the touchline side, but he's got heart. The fact that he got the try, the first try, to take a lead 5-2. 3 goals. Takes his time. It'd be a hard warmer if he kicked it. Oh dear, it's what I call a flapper. Didn't, what's... It was a penalty try. It was a penalty try, which meant, of course, that he would have another kick at goal, and so there's a chance of another kick right in front of the post. This time Gordon Smith will take it.
Well, this particular instance has been given because the man who scored the try was found to be fouled after he'd put the ball down. I think you'll find out that Fred Lindop gave it for knees as the man placed the ball over the line.
I think the other point too, he was given on the intervention of the touch judge. He came in and touched them on the shoulder. But it's quite a good rule, actually, isn't it?
It's a very good decision, because people can get injured by a man coming in late tackles when it's not necessary. It's a good decision.
No doubt about that. 7 points to 2. 21 minutes gone. Well, Great Britain have now got to really get down to it, because another trying to go the other way around would really put heart into the Kiwis. Great Britain now on the attack and the penalty. 18 minutes gone. Kneed up. And Tamati from Wellington looking at the goal post. Fairbairn to kick, useful 2 points. 22 minutes gone. Penalties, incidentally, are 8-4 to New Zealand. This should be well within his capabilities, although some funny things happen with goal kickers. And goal kickers, you go one after 3 minutes. Score 7-2. From Kelso, Scotland, now with Wigan. That looks fairly easy. And it is at 2 points, no doubt about it. 4 points to 7. George Fairbairn, halfway line, put a little heart in, because that high pointer, which had it been 7 or a 3, might have caused a lot of anguish. But Great Britain 7-4 back into the game. And a long one back to Fairbairn. Crowd rising to the help of Great Britain. And Inshaw, Neath, witness. The subs, by the way, are Steve Evans from Featherstone and Les Gawley from Widnes. And Fisher and Baxendale for New Zealand. Is the break coming? Ken Kelly, not seen a lot of him so far. An experienced footballer. 9, Keith Howell. Good pinch of a ball. Accoy, Fred Accoy. What a great footballer this boy is. Mark Broadhurst. Accoy again. Skamar Smith. Comes from the West Coast. Producer of many, many good rugby league players down on the coast. Seen some rare old matches out there. Tony Carl. Smith. Tamati. The black and white of New Zealand on the right. The whites of Great Britain on the left. 50 minutes to half-time and almost got through. But no doubt Great Britain have been tipped off as the danger man.
Well, I think Acquoy is the danger man, but if you notice, every time these men are tackled, there's somebody there, they release the ball, which our lads don't seem to be able to do. We are lacking in support, where these boys, there's always 2 or 3 to take the ball. Well, I think this is another needless penalty when you look at it, and Graham Smith He's got an 100% record in this game again. He had the same in the first test, and they're just about his range. He's a good straight kicker, and he doesn't miss a lot of these.
26 minutes gone, 7-4, and Gordon Smith, a straight kicker, and kick 2. And point that Alex Murphy was making there, giving penalties away. These are test matches. You don't do that in test matches if you can avoid it. Seen a lot of matches on the Sydney cricket ground where we've had all sorts of comments about them being right, justified and what have you, but 7-4 with Smith to kick. Pretty accurate boy. 9 goals so far on tour. The crowd have a word about it, but the crowd doesn't stop the 2 touch judges, Mr. Barrow and Mr. Kendra, flag up and making it 9 points to 4. This excitement of the Great Britain giving penalties away, what's the reason?
Well, I think they've been a little bit too cautious, you know. We should play the game as we play it. We're worried about what New Zealand's going to do. I think the game should be played as we play it, by running, backing up and tackling. We're not doing it at the moment, worried about New Zealand.
Well, we've got a margin of 5 points, and Dane O'Hara with 13 minutes to go. First half, of course. Well taken. McCoy. He's the danger man. What a tremendous footballer he is. A good break. And the forward coming up, Tamati. The referee there says a little bit of a feeling. Well, this is a test match, not a little lads' games. You've got to a toughie. Good inside pass to Whittaker. New Zealand very much showing their strength. Must be a penalty. It must be a scrum down. 6 tackled up.
This James Lulai looks a very good centre, Eddie. If you see him, he's there, he's got a bit of pace. He's running on the outside, and if you watch him, he's very dangerous. You mustn't give him a lot of space.
Yeah, he's a big lad too. He's 6 foot, he's 23 years of age. Comes from Auckland and he can play full back. He's got described to me by Des White, who was with the team, as blustering pace. Roy Holstock. Little feeling coming in, but this is a test match. And New Zealand know that a win today would give a lot of heart and enjoyment to them. John Joyner, not seen much of him so far in this match. In Castleford, of course, O'Hara taking him very well. Ken Kelly away. Ken Kelly away. Still going, losing a bit of pace, but marvellous run. Marvellous run. 9 points for the first, or the best bit we've seen of Kelly. It really went, obviously, was losing a little bit of pace as he went over the 25.
Well, that's Ken Kelly, you know, he's a little buzzer, and he caught onto the right ball, and as the ball is played here, it's a quick play, the ball, for the first time for a while, and here's Ken Kelly, little jink, round he goes, he takes the full back on here, very unlucky actually, because the number 5 comes in to tackle him.
Yes, it was the best bit of run that we've had on an individual like that, apart of course from 1 or 2 by Akoi. Balmain having a Fairburn to kick. The score 9-4. It's a scrum penalty. 44 goals this season. And that's the 25-yard line that we're looking at. And Fairbairn to kick. 2-pointer would be most useful, because the effort of New Zealand in this last 10 minutes has been most effective, although Great Britain's covering has been pretty good, particularly in the middle of the field. Fairbairn, 2 goals kicked, flags up, 3 goals, 6 points to 9. Nine minutes to half-time. There it is. Need another try for the levelling stakes, Alex?
Well, Great Britain needs a try, because they're creeping back into the game with penalty goals. We need a try. And I think we've got to move the ball, and we've got to back up a little bit more. If you notice again, Ken Kelly was all on his own and nobody in support.
9-6. Now, it was possibly the biggest miss of the Thunder, missing a nasty sort of a way, but the cover was there. But it was a very, very good run indeed. Kelly is capable of that at any time. But the New Zealanders are very effective in their covering. I saw them at Leeds the other night, and they covered like mad. And the big fellows like Graham and West and Broadhurst, very effective. Now has he got the pace? Kevin Dick. Crowd very much with the home team. Harry Pinner. Good inside pass. Fairbairn showing his endeavour, but lost possession. Tackling the man, but losing the ball. McCoy from Auckland. Figure I've heard his value is £50,000. Tony Cole. Wouldn't get that in New Zealand. And if he chats too much, he'll lose 10 yards. It's Tamati. And they're still having a long distance conversation. Is Fred Lindop with him, with Tamati. Referee very much in command, Fred Lindop from Wakefield. Well, we're not a long way off half-time. With 6 minutes, in fact, and a try and a goal for Great Britain would be most useful. They would, of course, for the other team too. But with this strong Kiwis, now very fit. They were not as fit as they might have been in the first test, but now they've done a lot of hard training, how to get a chance of a break for Great Britain. Fairbairn, chance for a yard out with a forward pass. Arapina supporting up from Fairbairn, but the position is right, if possession is right, and we shall see from this scrum. 5 minutes to go. Trevor Foster, a great international, he's the timekeeper here at the club, but it's Great Britain ball. What can Dick do? And again he's passing. 5 tackles to go. And Great Britain attacking. Oh, lost ball, John Joyner. Really? Lost that. He seemed to be a bit nervous about it or something.
Well, I want to know what John John is doing in that position. Surely from Ken Kelly it was meant to go to a forward. I think this is a planned move, and John just happened to be in the way.
Wow. That's some explanation. It was a miss. And getting so near to half-time. Mark Broadhurst. Well, McCoy, very, very popular figure.
If you look at John Joyner, Eddie, he's been carrying the back of his leg, and I think he's got hamstring trouble because he's been stroking the back of the leg now for the last 10 minutes. And if you notice, he's just limping. He's walking with a slight limp.
Yeah. A break. There's a chance now for Joyner to save the situation. Gets his pass into Drummond, who's only had about 3 passes. 4 minutes to half time. Well, these moments of passing, and there could be troublesome at the end of the game, if nothing accrues from them. The referee not given a penalty. I thought he might have done, but he didn't. John Joyner, yes, on the...
Well, that's the leg. Watch where the hand is at the back of his leg. He just keeps touching it. He's not very happy with it, and, you know, it's just a little bit of a pull.
Yes, scrum 6-2. And 14 is ready to come on from the touchline. And that's Steve Evans. And he's coming on for Joyner. Three minutes to half time. Yes, the Steve Evans from Featherstone wanted to get on. They must know that obviously tending on of this period will made the two Chiefs get something done before the interval, because they're down 9-6 and going at 9-9. Johnny Whiteley's gone onto the touchline to get him on. Quite a bit of time was taken there. It was lost time, I reckon, with that.
It was last time, but he'd already give a penalty, and I think you'll find out that it could be 9 out by the time we finish this one.
Well, he must kick this one. Just over 2 minutes. Fairbairn, the kick. He's had 3 successes. So 9-8 will wait. We'll watch the goal kicker. The sun is shining. The New Zealand team were only behind for the first few minutes when Fairbairn kicked a goal. Is now a chance of putting them just 1 point behind. 9 points to 6. Fairbairn. Oh, he missed it! Missed it. Not a goal to miss.
Well, that was a very bad miss. It's a morale boost he missed that, because if you look at some of the Great Britain lads now, they really needed that.
Joyner, I believe, has got a hamstring, which Steve Evans will stay on, I would think. Or can this Des Drummond save anything? Steve Evans touching the ball early on, good reason. 1 minute to half time plus injury time. Ducking and dodging. 1 minute to go. And I've got that officially from the timekeeper. Oh, half break by O'Hara. Good move by Gordon Smith. Had a very good match. Dummy. I could see that coming a mile off, and it almost came off. Fred Coy, what a tremendous footballer this boy is. He got hurt there. Tony Cole. Into injury time. And the fullback O'Donnell from Canterbury doing well, and the Kiwis now looking a bit dangerous. Time will save them, I was just going to say, and that's Great Britain, and the whistle and hoot are rather gone. 9 points to 6. Well, there'll be quite an inquest on this match so far when they get to the dressing room, because the goal kick that was missed by fullback Fairburn, was a vital one. Now the injury to this chap you're looking at now, it'll be terribly troublesome for New Zealand, Fred Arcoy, if he was to not able to come back. The hamstring injury, which was New Zealand have never won a test at Otso, and the first half scrum was 6-2 for Great Britain, quite a useful one, and 9-7 penalties. But it's a 9.6 lead at the moment, and it's the Kiwis to kick off, New Zealand to kick off. The sun's shining. What's going to happen? And Gawley is on, we notice, for Pinner. So, with these changes all sort of happening very quickly, I should imagine behind closed doors, because at Wigan, the New Zealanders put two biggest forwards they had in front of the dressing room door, and nobody could get in. So I'm assuming they'll have probably adopted this at the moment. And don't forget, it's playing under international rules. And even John Joyner running round the track at half-time, they wouldn't be able to come back. The new man on. New man in Les Gawley. Graham has got rib trouble, and Pinner has got a sprained shoulder. So that's the two loose forwards, and there's the new man on. Les Gawley. 3 points margin, and that last goal kick, it should have been a 9-8, but it isn't. Ifs and buts will get nobody anywhere. Good run indeed. You might have heard the loudspeaker announcer giving the facts and figures we've given you, but this is a chance for little Keith Elwell to climb in, as it seems to do. Great Britain on the attack. Turning it back inside. Len Casey. Half opening here. Big one, long pass. But they got out of trouble, Drummond. Great Britain doing the best bit of football we've had from them. And it will be interesting to see the reaction of the team in about another 10 minutes with Mark Graham off for New Zealand. A big blow that. Moving it along. Well, that was a good opening, but nothing for it. 25 yards line. You got up in time, did you, Alec?
I just climbed Mount Everest and back in 5 minutes.
See, you think this is an easy job, isn't it? All sorts of camera positions. Anyway, you're not on yet. And Fred Arcoy. The kick. Well, that opening was very good for Great Britain second half, but now we've got to go through the check-in, for instance, positional changes and also players off. They're very optimistic side are the Kiwis. They train hard. They're very, very keen to win this one. Coming back step by step, number 15, Ray Baxendale, one of the many lads from the coast, the west coast. Broadhurst. Ray Baxendale, by the way, is 6 foot, 14 stone. Along. Oh. There was a hard one, was that, on Gary Crom. And what? Well, just looking at the referee, it looks to me as if he's been talking a quiet word to Len Casey, Hull Kingston Rovers. We'll have a look at this, Alec.
Well, this is it. He knows he's been tackled here. I think that Len Casey is a very lucky lad in this. It certainly was a high tackle, and I think it shook him up a bit, but he'll be all right. It's a test match. You'll find out he'll just have a little bit of the bottle. It's enough to blow his head off, but he'll be back on his feet in 2 seconds.
Well, this was a tackle coming up, and it was a pretty hard one, and here they come, and he went down and facing the opposite way. So the kick, is it taken? Alan Rushton. 5 minutes gone, second half, and I reckon that the Kiwis have done very well to get over that first 5 minutes of the second half, with adjustments being made and players being injured, and the loss of Mark Graham, probably the most dangerous man on the New Zealand side, but he's not on. Broadhurst. It's in the man who could win the match, the leading 9 points to 6. Going straight forward and then just turn in to get the short pass. In that case, he kept the ball. Broadhurst, Canterbury, well taken, well put out, spreading well, good movement. No signs of missing their loose forward too much at the moment. Well, the crowd, even though he'd not be as strong as I thought he would have been, are applauding Alex.
Well, this James Lulai is a very, very good sense indeed. I think as regarding Mark Graham, they'll definitely miss him. He's a class player. Apparently he's got a knock in his ribs, and it looks like rib cartilage.
Well, that would be unfortunate if it was put him out of the tour, but let's hope there's better news. Fairbairn, but he's putting heart into the Kiwis and losing the ball and getting it the Kiwis. Really putting a lot of pushing strength into their plan. Fred Akoi. 25 yards line. Good run. Baxendale sub who's on. Any West Coaster would be hard to leave out. 9 the hooker, Alan Rushton. Switching around Gordon Smith. A little bit of stationary football at the moment. Mark Broadhurst still getting the pass out. Pull back O'Donnell. And still pushing it around. Good football, Graham West. And the whistle yelled. And the sporting fans applauded that. Where's Great Britain going to break in? They're down 9-6.
Well, I think we'll have to move the ball out. There's no way we can go down the middle like we have been doing. If you watch this Great Britain side, they support the man every time the man has the ball. There's always a man in support. The New Zealand side, sorry.
Cole, a penalty for Great Britain. And Cole's gone to loose forward and Baxendale into the second row. New Zealand defending, receiving the kick. Great Britain kick in, got plenty of height, got towards the halfway line. George Fairbairn from Scotland, their coach at Wigan. He'll come up on the attack, I'm quite sure. Great Britain had the advantage of the wind, not an awful lot. Bit cold, very cold in fact, but sun shining. Nice pass in, Jeff Grayson on his own ground. Bradford Northern. Les Gawley from Widnes. Steve Evans Featherstone, feel for you to be collecting. Oh, that good hard tackle, but Ken Kelly got out of it nicely. He really got out of that well. He could come into the game a little bit more, Kelly. Les Gawley. Really nowhere to go then for Kevin Dick. He had to do a A bit of a circle run, and we've got somebody injured, Kevin Dick. And Ron Barrett is the physio. Colin Hutton is the manager, and Johnny Whiteley coach. And he seems to be hurt a little bit there. But he's a tough lad. Be a bit of a...
Well, I think you'll find out there's not a lot wrong with this. He looks as though he's fallen on the ball. And, you know, the lad's gone down on top of him, and he's pinned his shoulder back as well. They've got a name. They've got a name. It certainly hurts him, obviously. It's winded him a little bit, but he's a big lad. There's not a lot wrong with him. They call this Ken Kelly the Riddler. You can understand when he keeps nipping out of these tackles why.
Well, back we are with, incidentally, only one try, and that was scored in the 19 minutes. The rest points have been goals, so we need some try from Great Britain to really get into the game. 10 minutes gone, 9-6 to the Kiwis. And after the great effort by the All Blacks in Wales yesterday, well, they would like to emulate them, I'm quite sure. I did mention earlier a goodwill telegram coming from the All Blacks to the Kiwis. Glenn Shaw from Widnes and from Nice. Missed out of the party on Friday, so he could be in this Great Britain side. And what they find in an opening, Kevin Dick recovered all right. Drummond. I've seen Drummond in some matches of late, but not today. He's not been in the picture at all, really. A couple of runs. Lesgall, he might put a little bit of life into the scene. And the crowd of the big hill, and up and under. Can he get on while he's taking it to try? Is it? No. No. The referee's there. Leluai did a great job there to get that ball. Needed a lot of courage. And how bravely the New Zealand players have come out of that onslaught. What's happening? He's not going to get a try, I don't think. I'm sure not. Steve Evans went through, but Fred Lindop was almost a disregard for anybody thinking it might have been a try.
Well, there's no harm in trying, as they say, but it was a blatant knock-on, and I don't think the crowd saw it. If you see this, Steve Evans, it was definitely a knock-on.
Penalty to relief. And a good kick, in as much as he's finding touch. Eda Coy, 9 points to 6. Kevin Tamati. A good run. Third test, incidentally, that leads on Saturday, November 15th. And New Zealand play Great Britain under 24s at Fulham next Wednesday, November 5th. Great match would that be, worth down people in London. November 5th, Fulham, under 24s. Away goes on the far side, O'Hara. Well, the second half started with quite a flurry, but there seems to be very little doing in the question of scoring from the Great Britain point of view. And Great Britain's are getting the scrums, but they're down 9 points to 6. So, Howell getting licked in the scrums, unlike him. The play of Kelly has been very good, and one thinks that he might be the man to break the situation down. That is the situation of Great Britain not having scored a try yet. New man on the scene. Keith Elwell. Let's go away. But the Kiwis are just feeling pretty lively despite having lost Graham. Need a quick break. And is this the scene to start it? Having a good match, Kevin Dick now. To get in the passing, there's no doubt being told to sling the ball about. Mike Smith, number 4, taking possession. The crowd wanting the players to get going, and they lost possession. Not for the first time.
You know, they say, come into the baskets. Them's what you need when the other side passes the ball right into your hands. Very grateful for that.
McCoy. Mark Broadhurst. Tamati. Well, the pace is just Sackling, which one can expect is penalty for Great Britain. Is he going to, I don't know whether it's, he wants to have a shot at this. It's a pretty long one for him. He's quite capable of kicking it, of course, but a bit heavy now. Going to have a go, George Fairburn. 16 minutes gone, second half. So that would make it just a 1-point margin. Fairburn has kicked 3 against 3 to Gordon Smith. A little talking to one another, but come round as Kevin Dick. Whilst this has been on the screen, Kevin Dick has been having attention. Doesn't take a long kick. Follows 3. Elwell telling his mate to get ready to run, taking his time. Flag, not bad, but the goal kick is a good one. It's a good one. 9-8, so that should really open the game up now with 1 point's margin. Needed kick in, it was a good kick.
Well, if ever there was a captain's kick, that was one. It was a brilliant kick, and earlier on in the first half, he'd refused a similar kick from that distance. So it makes you wonder, when he was a little bit fresher, whether he'd have been better kicking at goal. Brilliant kick.
I think the other point, the wind seems to be coming up a little bit with that flag. That had to the last 10 yards when he needed the lift. But the lift will it now come from a try scoring point of view. 9-8 rather. We've already had one draw. It'd be rather interesting if this was also a draw. But the Great Britain side look to be really getting into it now. It's going to be tough now, I reckon. 18 minutes gone. The crowd are getting a bit behind them. Nice dummy. 1 or 2 big lads up the front. Casey there. And it'll get hard. And the Kiwis certainly won't give anything away. Going on the short side, Kevin Dick. 9-8. Today, New Zealand 9, Great Britain 8. He lost ball, not for the first time with the ball being lost. On that occasion it was led goalie. Be great if this Gordon Smith is a great little battler. The biggest for Mark Broadhurst from Canterbury. 25 yards line. There's been so much interest in New Zealand that they are taking the whole of this match and anything else to the programme. And of course Australia are always interested in to see what New Zealand do. Great Britain. James Leula. Interesting now to see whether Great Britain can keep up that pressure. They seem to go off the boil in this last 30 seconds, for instance.
Well, the Great Britain lads now are certainly on top in this game, because I'm looking at one or two of the New Zealand forwards, and they're standing about, they're not following as quickly as they was in the first half, and I think if Great Britain can just string a few passes together, they could just go in front here.
Oh, good run. Dick is getting very much in power of possession. Fairbairn coming up. Mike Smith pushing the ball out to Gratian. So the question of holding on, the strength now, as I remember, 1 point the margin. Oh, good. Oh, he went back as fast as he went forward, and he's a big lad, goalie. This having a drop. But who's got it? It's a scrum down. Nobody's got it. It was a bit of a, I can understand the 1 point, but an awful lot of fellas in front of him.
I'm just worried now. What a great tackle that was from Kevin Tamati. He took Les goal, he nearly took him in two. But I do think that Great Britain has got to move this ball about if we're going to win this game. We've got to stop turning the ball back inside.
Got the ball, going on the short side. It's going to be hard enough, is this? It's going to be, I've seen a lot of hard tests in New Zealand and Australia and Great Britain, but this is going to be, oh my, John Whittaker, and he can run, can this fella, and he's pushed the ball out. Good job, he dropped it. Well, O'Hara created, and the ball went across. What a chance missed, and you can't miss chances like that in the test.
I think he'll certainly be cursing himself, Eddie. It was certainly a gilt-edged chance. John Lilley, he certainly created a chance, and there was a chance begging.
Well, Great Britain are winning the scrums. It's 12-3 at the moment, so they should do something with the scrum. They get it again. Who does? Yes, Great Britain. Kevin Dick. Kevin Dick has been playing very well. 18 minutes to go. There's plenty of time, but good tackle, but a very good pass. Drummond. He's going, but he's just wasting his journey. Now, what's the referee going to do? A penalty, certainly, against it. The man concerned was possibly Casey and Fred Okoye. Fred Okoye being attended to, number 6. So he's the man, of course, the danger man, and no doubt they know it.
Well, if you see this here now, Drummond, he runs very, very well with the ball here. He's going one way, he's not going to stop, and you see there's a tackle off the ball. If you notice, I think it was Jeff Gratian, and the ball, as the man went past him, he just gave him a little nudge with his elbow. I think you'll find out that's pretty right.
So the score, 9 points to 8, New Zealand. 17 minutes to go. New Zealand coming back, certainly position-wise. And it looks to be all right as Fred Okoye. 9-8, team leading. Big Graham West. Ray Baxendale. Oh, well taken, Tony Cole. John Whittaker, tall John Whittaker. He's a very, very good footballer indeed. 6'2", comes from Wellington, and he made his debut in 1970 New Zealand, and is the sole survivor of the great 1971 tour inside. 43 games for New Zealand. It's Great Britain ball, and he can't keep on his feet. New Zealand have never won a test at the Ottsel Stadium, Bradford. Is this going to be the breakthrough? Holstock and the fan called get him on side. I'm not quite sure who he's referring to. The first ever Great Britain-New Zealand match was played at Leeds in 1908. Good tackle, missed. O'Donnell, good footballer. "15 minutes to go, and the last time teams met there was 71 in Leeds, or a gate of 5,000. Good kick. Penalty is 14-9 for New Zealand. "15 minutes to go. Tactics now are going to be evident if Great Britain have got to take this, because runners like Gary Crome knows when to go and how to go, and they keep coming back in the long shot. Won't be stopped. All right, about 10 yards out. Coming back on the 25-yard line. Lula looking impressive again. Taking the ball well, sub Ray Baxendale. So the wrong end of the field as far as Great Britain concerned. Score 9-8, 1 point the margin. Half-pass break, and it's almost through, and this man's in at the corner. It's a try to O'Hara. 26 minutes and a good try. The ball went across. O'Hara got the try, making it 12-8, but there's some good play by Whittaker and O'Hara, but the man, as always, setting the scene, Fred Coy. Well, that was unexpected, but it was a good try, Alex.
Well, I'm just wondering whether that could be the match winner. Watch this, it's a quick play the ball. Again, quick ball to Coy. Now watch this, he just half dummies, a little short ball, bang, and he's going. A little bit of a dummy again. John Whittaker does exceptionally well here. But watch this for a try by O'Hara. He stretches out, and he has to stretch all the way to get well over the line. Good try.
Well, it was a try, but the bit I liked particularly was the Coy part in it. And they're having a meeting now. They're talking up to portray themselves, and Coy's having his say, and the players are now planning up what to do. Gordon Smith taking the kick. Ball down, but they're still talking there in the middle of the field. And number 2, 3 goals kicked so far. And it's a hard one, a long one, but no goal. 12 points to 8. Now what is the scene now? Attendance, by the way, it's 11,000. Now can Great Britain come back? 12 points to 8, and to go 12 minutes. Well, this try, it could be the match winner. Everything was in it. And Alex...
Well, if you see this ball here, he does well, O'Hara, but he has to stretch. It's a good tackle by George Furring, but he's right over the line. That was a good try. It could be the match winner.
Well, coming at this time, obviously, it's going to be, but don't, it's 8-12. A try and a goal would put them in front. So, Great Britain's got to turn everything on. But the heartening thought of 4 points in front to the Kiwis will be a very helpful situation to be in. But again, once again, the ball has been lost, and it's remarkable the number of times that we've lost possession.
Well, I think New Zealand have lost the scrums 2-1, but I think in loose balls they've won 3-1, because we have given them the ball literally every time we have the ball on the first tackle.
The remarkable thing, of course, the Kiwis have been playing without ball possession. We can get in the ball.
I don't think they'll lead a notch if we keep dropping it like we are doing.
Going to be a rather torrid time, I would think, on this Oxford turf, with the score 12-8. Going to have to need possession. Good player, this John Whittaker. Excellent player. Scrum down.
Well, this is it again. Watch Len Casey here. He does the right thing. He goes through two men. Now, where's the man in support? And here's the ball. Look, he's only 10 minutes now. And there he goes to ground again. And this is what we're doing time after time. Men can't take the ball.
Scrum down. Kevin Dick not very keen to give the ball away. But Gordon Smith quite a crafty little scrum half. Scrums Great Britain 14-3, so the law of average. Well, they get a penalty, put in his own forward feet. I suppose he thought that there's no other chance of getting the ball except putting his own forward feet. But they have a lot to say at all times about the Great Britain scrummaging, or regularly, generally in this country. The referee who did referee one match from New Zealand, he was very bitter the other night to me about it, and he doesn't play. Positioned right for something. George Fairbairn using Roy Holstock. Trying the goal is needed for victory for Great Britain. They're down 12-8. Glyn Shaw using the big fellas, a nice pass. Can he get the ball out? No tackling. Brilliant Fairbairn, the Great Britain man in white. Kevin Dick trying to find the opening. But they're swarming around of the New Zealand blacks on the white jerseys of Great Britain. Turn inside, he's got to guess the ball in. Kevin Dick is up against four or five of them. It's the most sustained attack we've had for quite a while. No good kicking or anything. Got to try and get through, and Len Casey, the danger man, and the whistle goes. Well, that was the best bit of progressive and aggressive football we've had for a while.
Well, I think at the moment it's no good taking this New Zealand side down the middle. The tackling is absolutely tremendous. There's one tackle after another, and I think the only way we're going to win this game is Great Britain's going to win it, is if they move the ball out and hope for a lad to back up and go into the H's.
Well, the position is right, but possession is lost. Tony Cole. And every now and again the Kiwis surprise us with getting a good ball. Ken Blula, 4 points in it with 7 minutes to go. And in a long history of great rugby between these two teams, Great Britain has had it very well, but this would be a remarkable victory, losing their captain at half-time. The man number 6 taking over, Gordon Smith. And this is the man, Akoi, keeps coming in with the brilliance born out of a lot of experience, skill, very effective standoff. And the whistle. So time's running out for Great Britain, 12 points to 8. One more test to go, third test at Leeds on November 15th. And I have told you, of course, about the Great Britain under 24 at Fulham next Wednesday, 5th. The first test was Great Britain 14, New Zealand 14. And 12 points to 8 at this moment. So you've got all the statistics, apart from one. Five minutes, ball possession. Len Casey been having a hard, good match. Glyn Shaw But as the seconds are tipped along, a penalty for Great Britain. But the Kiwis run back. 5 minutes about to go. Position could be created, and then possession. We shall see. We've got the position on the 25-yard line. Joe Fairbairn kicking. 8 points to 12. See on your screen. 6 tackles. What can they do? They've made about 10, more than 10 yards. 12 yards to Roy Holstock. Elwell going the short side. Dear. But it's Finshaw, not a knock on. A long pass that. However, it wasn't all lost. Dummy. Got to come, Len Casey's got to come out of a lot of would-be tacklers, and he's pinched the ball out. Graham West, the biggest fellow, 6'6" about, pinched the ball. Penalty against him, and he's going for touch so that he can have good kick, so they can have the 6 tackles. Graham West offended. Fairbairn. So it's a grandstand finish, if you'll excuse the quote in copyright. And he goes. 4 points margin, 12-8. The crowd on the toes, nobody much leaving. Using the strong men in the middle, in this case Jeff Gresham. Still Greg Bond. It looks as if there's an overlap. Going to get the pass in. And tackled just short, Steve Evans. And the whistle must have gone. It was still going. Steve Evans was still going. Featherstone lad, of course. Great Britain wanting possession. What are they getting? Referee very much on the top of play. Fred Lindop. Three minutes to go. Being at a bit of injury time. Probably 4 minutes altogether. Well, the New Zealand players are standing up. The referee is having a lot of problems with them, and Fred Lindop making sure that they get a tunnel, which is a thing that they don't get, and they get the ball. But it's only a few yards out, made into 10 very quickly by who? Well, of course, Fred McCoy. And the New Zealanders here, not a lot of them, but certainly those that are here will be a great delighted lot, because then one up, it would be only one to go. Running themselves out of trouble, doing it well, New Zealand. Their strength and power have been very effective, and at all times they've been aware of a situation that must be tackled, and only in 26 minutes was the one try for them. O'Donnell had got one in the 19th minute. Penalty against Great Britain, and a few cheers, probably sarcastic ones. But the crowd now suddenly decided to leave, which is indicative that they think it's not going to be Great Britain's day. It's going to be New Zealand, because we have got 1 minute to go. And this was the one that got the penalty given. And a little bit of to-in and fro-in, a little bit of argument then went on, but the referee was on the job. And the penalty to be kicked against Alan Rushton, being attended to. big strong fellow, this. He doesn't like the method of hooking in England, but he's a good forward. Right, we're on. Score 12-8. Ball lost. Just looks a little hard now out of Great Britain. They will know the time factor as much as we do out of a lot of the systems. Harry Sunderland, a great rugby league man, in his days in Australia, he used to have 6 buckets and take them away, so one at a time, so they know how many buckets one left. Great Britain 8, New Zealand 12, and on our book it's on full time. But the official timekeeper, there's 1 minute to go. 1 minute of injury time. The judge and the referee and the timekeeper have just had a look at one another, and one finger has gone up to indicate there's 1 minute to go. And it's the attack by New Zealand, Broadhurst from Canterbury. 25 yards line. Kevin Tamati. Broadhurst, 1 minute of injury time gone. So no doubt the New Zealanders with their ball possession will be glad to hear the hooter go. Fairbairn to kick, but it's amazing, be almost sensation, complete sensational now for Great Britain to win this match. Mark Broadhurst has been selected as the man of the match. Oh, what a good tackle there. And there goes the hooter. And there's the end of the test match, and the New Zealanders are jumping up like great little lads. The first ever test they've won at Oxford, and I thought at half-time when they'd lost Mark Graham, the captain, that they'd had it. I thought Great Britain would have come back, but they didn't. The first was a goal, 2-0 from Fairbairn, but then 2-2, then Mike O'Donnell 5-2, 7-2 with the goal, 7-4 Fairbairn, and then half-time 9-6, and we only had 2 tries. The second came in the second half from Dane O'Hara, and that was really the killer. But a tremendous match, but there's still 1 to go, and that's at Leeds on Saturday, November 15th, so that should be a real match well seen. So that's it, and I believe